Brian Moore.
And a very warm welcome to Villa Park. Here's Ian Rush, 19 years old, carrying so many attacking hopes of Liverpool tonight. Only his second first-team game, and this then is the Liverpool lineup. Bob Paisley talks about Liverpool's worst injury crisis for years, without Graham Souness, without David Johnson, now without Steve Highway. So Ian Rush comes in. Phil Thompson, of course, returning to the defence after missing 4 games through injury. What about West Ham? Well, the only problem for manager John Lyall today was the fitness of central defender Alvin Martin. He'd got an ankle injury, but he had a strenuous late test, and he is fit. And so Clive Thomas, the referee from Wales, who was such a controversial figure in that game at Wembley, gets the game underway. Liverpool in a change strip of white, attacking the goal to our left. West Ham it is, who had the change strip at Wembley, tonight playing in their claret and blue, which are of course familiar colours here at Villa Park. They are also the colours of Aston Villa, so I think maybe there'll be 1 or 2 neutrals who'll be shouting for the underdogs, West Ham, the London side tonight. Here's Alan Hansen for Liverpool. Ray Kennedy, back for Phil Thompson, and here's Phil Neal. Bit of space down that right-hand side for him. Played in again for little Sammy Lee, the flick back again there for McDermott, and Billy Bonds cutting it out for West Ham. Playing it wide here for that dogged little character, Paul Goddard, who, having trodden on the ball, still gets up there. Brooking is brought down, but there was no foul there, said the referee. And the ball with McDermott for Liverpool. Jimmy Case on the far side. And Alvin Martin shepherding the ball away for the goal kick. Alvin Martin, himself a Liverpool fan for so many years when he was a lad. Here's Martin with the ball now. Either side has won the League Cup, so we're bound to get a new name on the trophy tonight. And of course the game will stop here tonight, as Dickie told us earlier. If they require extra time, then so it shall be. 15 minutes each way, and after that it'll be penalties. Kennedy, Hansen, and again a good interception, this time by Alvin Martin. Cross, and just onside is Goddard. Clements coming way out of his penalty area, carefully playing this ball for Alan Kennedy. And now Phil Thompson. Hit straight at McDermott. Falls there. Well, it should have fallen for West Ham. Instead it goes beyond Devonshire for Dalglish. It's now with Case. Good run here by Lee. And not a bad cross coming in there. And the header by Dalglish, wide of the West Ham goal. It's not a full house tonight, but it is unquestionably a cup final atmosphere. Martin. And now Billy Bonds. Cross, but it was Kennedy's header, and it finds its way here for Rush. Played in nicely there for McDermott. It was a good ball played in there by Rush, a slip by Ray Kennedy, and it's cut out by Brooking. Here's Sammy Lee, played wide again this time for Phil Neal. Wider still for Jimmy Case. Devonshire has slipped, played in there for McDermott, played back again there, and a shot. Well, Dalglish's shot was gathered up well, but it was carrying a bit of weight there. And Parks well behind it. Kennedy, Rush. Good early moments these for Liverpool. And now Dalglish. A deflection, and again Parks had to go down.
Brian, anybody that said that goalkeepers are too expensive are fools.
Lee. And now Hansen. Thompson. Well, as Bob Paisley was saying, it's their worst injury crisis for quite a little while, but at the moment Liverpool have shrugged that off and are showing a lot of confident form. But here's Brooking at the moment for West Ham, and it was Pike who got in his way. So Kennedy finds McDermott. Dalglish quickly closed down there by Billy Bonds. Devonshire again rushing for this one with Brooking, and Rush, well, a free kick for the foul on Rush, taken quickly by Sammy Lee. Ray Kennedy, and now for Case. Rush again from Alan Kennedy's header, and now Brooking. A lovely weighted ball there for Neighbour, almost the first touch he's had with almost 10 minutes gone. And he's gone past Alan Hansen, and he's got a couple of West Ham players waiting in the middle. The cross coming in, oh, and it's there. Well, Goddard has put West Ham into the lead. Virtually the first touch that Jimmy Neighbour had. And what a measured cross it was. And what a flying header there. Clemens could touch it but couldn't stop it. And West Ham have gone into the lead with 9.5 minutes gone. Brian.
Incredible start for them. Hansen sold himself actually just under us, Brian. But the cross that came in was superb. By Liverpool standards, it wasn't tightly marked. A brilliant goal.
And here it is again. So now Liverpool, who looked so good in those opening 9 minutes, had looked so confident, have suddenly been rocked. Case. Parks' ball under pressure from Ray Kennedy. Billy Bonds. Oh, Bonds is in trouble. Rush has found Dalglish. And a yard wide, and the West Ham skipper so nearly cancelling out the advantage that West Ham had gained. Gave the ball away badly. Rush is passed there into space for Dalglish. Wide of the diving Parks, but also the goal. Here's Lee. Oh, pushed away superbly by Phil Parks. What a great shot by little Sammy Lee there. And there it is. There's the save. Here comes the corner. With a quarter of an hour gone, and West Ham leading by a goal to nil. Very deep one there towards Hansen. Parks at the second attempt. Well, Brian, frantic Liverpool maybe, but I fancy West Ham are going to have a lot of defending to do tonight now.
Well, I'm not sure about that. Liverpool just might run out of steam, although they've never run out of steam in their career. They just might.
Well, here's Brooking finding Neighbour. Brooking's gone wide again, offside.
Phil Parks is playing remarkably well at the moment. It suits him to have an early introduction to the game. He's now on song. If you just have a look at him now, he's got his hands on his hips, he's composed, he's in good nick, and all that type of thing. And as you remarked, Ray Clemens has only touched the ball once, and that was to get it out the back of the net.
Well, here's Thompson. And now Hansen. Phil Thompson. Neil. Dalglish. And again, Billy Bonds right at the back of him. They're so aware of Dalglish's ability to turn. And there's a good free kick taken, and Rush is in there. And he's hit the woodwork with it. Well, West Ham were really caught out there, and it was Sammy Lee's quick free kick. And here's Lee again. Alan Kennedy trying to make something of it. Ray Kennedy's available to him. Here's Kennedy with that left foot. That surely is Phil Parks' ball. Oh, but he had to tip it over. So it's going to be Case with a corner. Liverpool still pressing, still this goal down. Phil Neal, and it deflected off West Ham defender for another corner. Neighbour, what an amazing League Cup he's having. It was his goal against Coventry that put West Ham into the final, and it was his centre that has given West Ham this lead now. Ray Kennedy off the top of the crossbar. Well, luckily Liverpool are having none of the luck. That's Rush who's hit the woodwork, and then with this header here, Ray Kennedy climbing above them all onto the top of the crossbar.
It was a bad ball, Brian, and if Liverpool start tossing things in, they're never going to create. And it's daft actually, because I would assume the Liverpool forwards want West Ham to attack a bit more, to give them a breather and to give them a bit more space.
Well, it's Liverpool doing some more attacking now, and it's Phil Neal. And West Ham have certainly got plenty back, taking Brian Clough's point there. McDermott playing it in. Dalglish! A beautiful ball played in here by McDermott. And how superbly it was taken there on the volley, on the turn by Kenny Dalglish, and that's 1-1. Kenny Dalglish, who scored in every round, and my word, the goal that has now beaten Phil Parkes was maybe as precious as any of them. What about it, Brian?
Oh, it was an absolute beautiful goal. He delayed his pass. It was taken before it reached the floor. Phil Parkes had no chance whatsoever with that. That was a brilliant goal.
And 1-1.
And Brian, it was only what Liverpool deserved.
Yes, they've had so much of the game. And now, as you say, they've got what they deserved. They've made it 1-1. And they might take a bit of stopping now. Well, it's West Ham at the moment with Stewart. Here's Neighbour. Stewart again. Goddard trying to get in behind Hansen. I think maybe there was a foul by Goddard on Hansen and a free kick to Liverpool. Kennedy. Alvin Martin. Way down the line there for Neighbour. A little flick in here for Pike. And now here for Brooking. And they really haven't made their presence felt in the midfield at the moment, West Ham. Kennedy now trying to get Rush on his way. McDermott's coming up there, and it was charged away that time by Lampard. They are suddenly looking even more dangerous, Liverpool, with the crowd urging them on. Now that they've got that equalising goal. Lee finding Neal, and now with Thompson. Neal again, beaten in the challenge that time by Bonds. McDermott. Thompson. Lee. Dalglish. And that deflected for another corner. And he really is looking something special tonight, this Liverpool number 7, Kenny Dalglish. So Liverpool's corner. Jimmy Case with it. Curled in there once more towards Hansen. And the goal! It certainly was deflected after Hansen's header. But the goal is Liverpool's, and they have gone into the lead. Flicked, in fact, off Billy Bonds, I think it was, yes. Well, the scoreboard says the goal goes to Hansen, and there it is off the right knee of Billy Bonds into the back of the net. Hansen, Phil Neal, bit of space again, a raking drive off Brooking. Case again playing it in there, and Phil Parks. Now here's Neighbour. Kennedy backing off him, Ray Kennedy supporting. Pike playing it here for Stewart. Goddard. Neighbour. Brooking, looking around again, finding Pike. Liverpool again with plenty behind the ball. Neighbour again for Brooking. Policed there by Hansen. And finds Ray Stewart. Played in again there. Got it back to Stewart. My word! Into the side netting, and I think everybody in the ground for just a moment thought that had blasted into the net. What a 1-2 this was, and what a drive there by Stewart, and how close it was. Cut out well by Hansen. Wasn't a particularly good ball there by Ray Stewart. Now being hustled there by Rush. Here's Neighbour picking up the pieces. The whistle goes for half-time. And Liverpool go in at half-time with a 2-1 lead, having gone behind when Paul Goddard put West Ham into the lead. Kenny Dalglish then scored what so far has been the goal of the night. And then that header from Alan Hansen. Although my feeling is that if you look at the facts straight in the face, that probably goes down as an own goal by Billy Bonds. I'm wondering what our panellists will think of that. Well, here we go again now, the start of the second half, 45 minutes to go, and West Ham are 2-1 down, now attacking the goal to our left. It's with Neighbour, and then off Dalglish. Of course, one of the things that we didn't have time to discuss at half-time is whether you would put that down as Billy Bonds' own goal or Alan Hansen header. My feeling is it would be a Billy Bonds' own goal because it looked as though it was going through to Phil Parks.
Ryan, you ask Alan Hansen. It was on target. He'd won it in the air, 7 foot in the air or 8 foot, on target. There's no way it's not his goal.
I think there'll be arguments about that. But at any rate, there's no arguing about the score, which is 2-1 to Liverpool. And of course, a place in Europe awaits the winners of this competition in the UEFA Cup. Liverpool, of course, have 3 ways of getting into Europe this season. This way, through winning this game tonight. They have a very important European Cup semi-final date against Bayern Munich next week. And of course, they could still finish high enough in the first division to qualify for UEFA Cup that way. But this is West Ham's only way of getting into Europe. Stewart finding Cross, but Cross beaten away there by Hansen. And the ball played in here for Jimmy Case. Picked on for Ian Rush. Here's McDermott. Again, Dalglish very, very active up front, and Phil Neal making the overlap for Liverpool there. Deflected those straight through to Parks. Has joined them, and behind the ball are Case, who has a cannonball kick. McDermott and Neal. It's Phil Neal, and a brilliant save by Parks. Neal looking in agony there because he really felt that he bent that round the wall superbly, which he had. A little touch there for Phil Neal. More of a curler, as you can see. Look at it curling there, and what a save by Parks. Closing quickly, Dalglish, good close control there. Finding Ray Kennedy, on for Dalglish again. Bonds doesn't want him to turn, but Dalglish has done it, and Parks has saved again. He's dynamite tonight, Kenny Dalglish, Brian.
He's involved all over the place. He started the movement and nearly finished it. He turns there beautifully. Two defenders around him, on target.
Stewart outside him. West Ham still this goal down. Liverpool leading 2-1. Billy Bonds. And it's played here this time for Pike. Wide there for Stewart. And now Neighbour with a chance to get to that byline. A good cross is called for, and it didn't quite reach David Cross. There's Pike. And Phil Neal got that one away. Here's Lampard. Suddenly West Ham have got a lot forward. A long shot there by Lampard, but really it has to be the height of optimism in the hope of beating Ray Clements from that sort of range with that sort of shot. Pike to Lampard. Phil Thompson. Well, that's given away by McDermott on that occasion. And now Brooking is through for West Ham. And just wide. Well, he's usually so good at finishing from that sort of position, Trevor Brooking, that I wonder what the odds would have been at that moment for him scoring. But as you can see, fractionally wide of that far post. That was a real chance, Brian.
It was a good chance by any stretch of imagination. You can't score unless you hit the target.
Doing it well to find Kennedy. And now Lee to McDermott. Dalglish is up ahead of him. So is Rush, and wide here is Case. Dalglish through the middle again. It's with him. And well saved again by Parks. Well, you could watch this sort of turn by Dalglish until the cows come home. And without a great deal of effort, a lot of power and direction. Thompson for Case. Carefully there for Neal, who really has played more as a midfield winger almost than a defender tonight. And here's Devonshire, and maybe he'll have to do a bit of defending. No, West Ham have given it away again. Case played in this time for Rush. On the turn. Oh! Just wide. That would have been some goal for the youngster, Brian.
It would have been, but it would have been a reward for possession. He swings at it, obviously, and he just goes past the far post. He ran well, but Liverpool had possession for about 90 seconds.
Pearson on. It's really the last throw of the dice, calling upon Pearson's experience as a goal scorer to retrieve this League Cup final for West Ham. Scored one goal this season, and that was in faraway Russia against Tbilisi in the Cup Winners' Cup. Pike, the man who is going to come off, Billy Bonds. And I would think now, having made that decision, the one thing that West Ham want is the ball to go out of play, but certainly not into the back of their net. And here's Kennedy. Oh. So West Ham are making their substitution now as we look again at Kennedy's run from midfield onto that favourite left foot of his, but this time always on the up and way over the crossbar. On my watch, 2 minutes. Brooking with one of those floating free kicks. Bonds, Cross, Martin, Goddard, Devonshire and Pearson are all in that Liverpool penalty area. Brooking with the free kick, floated in there and over the top by Billy Bonds. Look at the pointing going on in that Liverpool defence. They really allowed Bonds to get away free there. As Brooking took that free kick up above them all, but not quite high enough to be able to knot it down. Here's Neal. The long ball forward, and here's Martin. Bonds. Neighbour, played inside for Pearson. Bonds again. Devonshire. My, how they've battled West Ham against the favourites Liverpool, who've been in such tremendous form tonight. Good training for next season when they get back to the First Division. And a long ball there from Alvin Martin. Neighbour, with Stewart having gone down that flank. Brooking. Now Pearson. The last half minute of the game, plus any time that Clive Thomas will add on. Case in a little bit of trouble there. Harassed there by... And cross! Just wide of that goal. Well, nearly out of nothing. West Ham almost saved themselves. Case got himself into a terrible muddle there. Somehow it was toe poked on there. And suddenly here's cross. Wide of Ray Clements and agonisingly close to that far post. Oh, that really would have been a saving goal out of nothing, Brian.
It was an incredible chance, actually.
In the meantime, Phil Neal finding Ian Rush. Billy Bonds getting stuck in there, conceding the throw to Liverpool. And it's almost over now. Neal for Liverpool. 30 seconds of stoppage time already played, and it's with Jimmy Case. Cut out by Pearson. Flicked on there for cross. Pearson again, flicked it on there towards Brooking. Cut out by Lee, who's done a real man's job here for Liverpool tonight. McDermott looking for safety, which again may be indicative of the way that West Ham have hustled Liverpool throughout this 90 minutes. And it looks now as though it's going to be Liverpool. Clements with that long kick. Referee still has not looked at his watch, although he's now played 2 minutes of time added on. He's now looking at his watch pretty hard. Rush. And now Martin back to Phil Parks. And the one thing Parks will want to do is to get that ball forward. The final whistle. Liverpool have won the League Cup for the first time. Alan Hansen with that headed goal before half-time that was helped into his own net by Billy Bonds. Kenny Dalglish, the scorer, also for Liverpool tonight after Paul Goddard had put West Ham into the lead. And Liverpool then qualify for Europe, that's for sure, next season for the 18th successive season. And West Ham contemplate a game where they've really had a battle the whole night. Sure of a place in Europe. Winners of the Football League Cup. Phil Thompson back after 4 games out with an injury. What a moment for him to come back, and what superb timing by Liverpool to produce their best performance for months. Here in the final. And what a familiar sight that is for a Liverpool captain to raise the cup aloft. But it's the Football League Cup for the first time. Now going back to Anfield.